What can I get you? This is a very recognizable line that you can hear in almost any restaurant around the world. When going out to eat, most customers would expect to have a friendly atmosphere, their food to arrive in a timely manner, for that food to be great tasting, but most importantly, to receive excellent service. Sometimes these expectations can be a bit too high, and if our standard is not met, the customers can become frustrated and take this out on their waiter or waitress. We often forget to realize, though, or fail to realize, that our waiter and waitress is not responsible for all the mistakes and problems that can occur, but we still treat them as though they were. This can add much unneeded stress and pressure to an already very stressful job. Though it might not always seem true, but waiters and waitresses have one of the most difficult jobs in the world. Like many jobs that deal directly with customers, waiter and waitresses represent the whole organization. Like it or not, this comes with the job. While a job that consists of serving customers and trying to make them happy might not seem too difficult, this is quite the contrary. According to some, a job serving tables is one of the most mentally and physically stressful jobs. Most servers have very irregular schedules, ranging from early mornings to late evenings, having to deal with a high number of customers and carrying heavy trays that are loaded with food and beverages. Imagine being on your feet all day and only being able to sit down a few minutes at a time. Most servers can have up to 10 tables at once, and every table wants to be taken care of as immediately as they are seated. This can cause the server to be constantly moving back and forth without stop or rest for hours. Even after the food is served, though, the waiter or waitress is still not done. They must ensure that patrons do not need any condiments, that the beverages remain filled, and that they are not missing any items from their plate. Although there are many others in the restaurant who are important to the waiter or the customer's experience, the waiter or waitress is the only one that the customer looks to. It is also a common occurrence that certain patrons can add unnecessary stress on the server. Customers can be bossy and rude and can treat the waiter as though they just don't matter. But a server must always be polite and attentive even to these customers unless they want to risk their job. This has to be one of the toughest parts of the job, being nice to someone who is not being nice to you. As the saying goes, the customer is always right. Servers often can have multiple tables at once, and it can become difficult when one table is constantly requesting something, constantly questioning where their food is, or asking how long it takes to cook it. Most patrons also feel the need that when an item on their plate is either missing, over or undercooked, or they ordered something and it was not what they expected when it came out, to blame the server and not to think that maybe the chef or the food runner might have made a mistake. Most servers also do not prepare the plates or serve them to the customers. Restaurants usually have a food runner for this job. If patrons were more patient and understanding, waiters could help them with their needs more quickly. This would make the restaurant an easier and less stressful place for everyone. And isn't that the main goal for going out for a meal, to enjoy it? One of the most common things a server worries about is how much a patron might tip. Most patrons do not know, or care to know, that servers make most of their income solely on tips. Some patrons believe that it is not fair that they have to give up their hard-earned cash to someone who just takes their order and brings them food. But most servers are only paid $2 an hour, which is before taxes. If that was all servers made, that would mean a server would make only $4,000 a year. So you can see that tips are very important to waiters. Servers must also pay a tip share, which is a percentage of their total sales of the night. This takes even more money away from them. The average tip is about 15% of the total bill, but many people do not even tip 10%. William Porter gives a great scenario that most waiters are often faced when dealing with large parties. Go to dinner with 5 friends. Eat and drink and have a great time. When the bill comes, pass it around to everyone and let them kick in their share, plus tip. 9 times out of 10, you are going to fall short of the 20% tip that is the industrial standard. Usually, you'll be well short of it. Let's say a server has 10 tables throughout the night. If each table's bill was about $20, and if they each tipped only 10% of the total bill, the waiter has only made $20 off of up to 20 to 40 people. At 15%, he or she has only made $30. If they had to serve all these tables at once, though, you can imagine how hard and stressful the work would have to be. If a waiter only had 5 tables in their section that night, and all 5 tables were sat immediately and each stayed there for an hour and a half, they wouldn't make much money if it was just the $2 an hour. This comes to show, though, how dependent waiters are on tips. $2 or $3 for a $10 or $15 meal can make all of the difference to your server. Many people, though, just don't think that serving tables is a real job or a highly demanding job. But having performed this job myself over the past 2 years at my hometown restaurant, the Oakwood Cafe, I can vouch for how physically and mentally demanding it can be. From dealing with customers that are rude, bossy, and honestly just impossible to please, having to pull double shifts 4 to 5 times a week, and being on your feet the entire time with risk of looking bad to your tables if you aren't, waiting tables can be a very stressful job to say the least. At the same time, though, if customers are appreciative, if they are understanding, and respect that mistakes can happen and are going to happen in a restaurant, waiting tables can be a very enjoyable job. And a happy waiter is going to make very happy customers. So next time you or your family go out to a restaurant, I would like you to remember to be polite and understanding. Have some patience with your waiter, and if a mistake happens, just be understanding. And if your waiter or waitress does a great job, remember to tip at least 15%. It can make all the difference to your waiter and help to ensure that your experience is a great one.
You got it. Save it.
Thank you.